Hi guys, you should have gotten this kit in if you ordered it. It turns into this. This is a different kind of wood, but it's the one I have made right now to show you. Turns into this little set here. Oh, it's upside down. Anyways, it has all these little pieces in it. Nativity. It's pretty awesome. I'm not going to show you everything right now because we are going to build it. So there's hinges in here, and then a latch also, and the screws that go with it, and we'll do those very last. So you should have 6 pages here, and you'll need that. Some of the kits come with a permanent marker and some don't. I'm not sure if this one does, I didn't look, but you'll need something like that if you want to hide some marks. Okay, and you'll need some glue. This is the glue that I use. It's just a super glue, and this is an Insta set, which dries it instantly. And also I have a magnetic dish that I dump the screws in so that I don't lose them. Oh, and one other thing, you can have a little screwdriver, or I just use something like this that doesn't have very much power. If you use a drill with a lot of power to put your screws in, then it'll probably break the heads off. So whatever you do, tighten them the very end by hand, gently. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is pop out all these little pieces. And usually it's not this hard. Okay. I'm just going to go through this pretty quick because it's an easy thing, and I think that you can figure it out without a problem. So just throw away the trash. I just have a garbage right here. I'm going to put it right here. Okay. Oh, throw the trash away and not the actual pieces. There we go. This probably takes a half hour to build, somewhere in there. I almost threw that away again. Okay. Most of these just have one tab. You can see it right there, holding it in. Just break it. Some have 2 if they're bigger. Do this somewhere where you're not going to lose your pieces. Like, don't sit on the couch and do it unless you feel brave, because pieces might get lost in the cushions or something. All right, so we've got those all punched out. Now the next thing, on each piece, like I was saying, there's this little notch where it was stuck in. There's one here too, just so that we can keep those in the cards. So I don't like to keep them there. They're a little bit bumpy. I like to just trim them off. things fit together a little better if you get them nice and flush. And this probably takes most of the time, is to get these all cleaned up. Oops. And it's fine if you accidentally cut off too much like I just did, because next we'll go through with our permanent marker and color those in. You can use a black one or a brown one. And it looks fine either way. I also forgot, you'll want to have a paper towel handy too, just to wipe up any excess glue that you have. And wax paper to protect your surface. Too much. Usually these little notches are opposite each other, just to help hold it in. And when you're doing this, do all the normal things, like don't cut yourself or anything like that. So just be careful with the knife when you use it. If when you're building this you find some pieces that didn't come out right, let me know if they have a problem. This one kind of is problematic, but it won't hurt anything. I'm just going to use a marker. It just wasn't cut out as well as the rest. We'll just color that in with a marker though, and it should be fine. But contact me if you need an extra piece or two, and I'll send them to you. All right, we've got those trimmed. Now grab your permanent marker, and what we'll do is, as we are going through and coloring in these little spots right here. Here, I can't see my camera. There we go. We're going to sort them as we do that. So all the pieces that don't get glued together, like all the little, I missed a spot there, the animals and scenery, things like that, will go in one pile. Oops. And all the bases will go in one pile. Now the pieces that go to the manger, this little tiny one, I'm going to put in a different pile. And this one is part of the actual stable box. So we'll make a different pile for all those pieces. The ones that don't have any notches will go in very last. This one right here. And there's one more just like that right here. So let's put those in a different pile also. Here's one of the main pieces, it's the back. So we'll put that over here, upside down, because that's how we'll start building it. Also, if you want all these pieces that we're going to be gluing together, you can just color them in afterward. You don't have to do it right now. So this is a little piece. This one goes right there. It's a roof piece. And this has hinges on it. I like to poke these out because it makes it a lot easier to get the screws in. There's just, the hole is so tiny that the little piece gets stuck in there sometimes. So poke those little pieces out. Sorry, it's shaking there. And we're gonna put that, it's the hinge part with 4 holes, and we have a little notch on the bottom. It's gonna go on that side. If there's marks on this, you can just wipe it off with a little wet paper towel or spit on it like I just did. Alrighty. So that one goes there. All right, this one is one of these pieces, and it's gonna go, actually, I think we want it like that because it's the floor and we want the lines to show on the inside. And like this, no. Oh, this one has 2 holes in it. Not sure if you can tell. And it is part of the latch. So if there's holes in it like that, you know, it goes on the side. And this one should go here on this side. Here's the other one that has 2 holes in it for the latch, and it will go on the other side. Did I mark? Oh, getting ahead of myself. All right, so these pieces right here only fit one way. So if you put this one here, this is short and it hangs over. So make sure you get them lined up in the correct spot on the correct side. Let's get this hinge piece in over here. Poke these little holes out. All right, and oh, this one doesn't have any notches on it like this. So this is actually, let me get the holes poked out of this. All right, the ones with the notches go here and here, and this part goes at the bottom. That's how you know they're in correctly. And then you've got another two pieces that are going to be lining this so that it's thicker and stronger. That one and this one right here. And we'll do those after we get the box put together. So we'll just set them aside. And the same thing for the latch. There's these pieces that will strengthen it that go inside also. We're putting them aside for a minute. And here I am forgetting to mark it, but you know what, if those notches show after we build it, then we will just fill them in then. This is part of the manger. And the other part of the manger. And the other end, this cute little tiny piece. All right, so manger pieces, we'll put them aside for a second. Let's do the stars next. The reason there are, I think 4 different stars is so we can stack them, and then that way they can go on the top of the stable afterward, and that gives them stability so they stay there. So we've got these 4 stars. We will glue them together in a minute. Let's finish up all these little pieces. All right, here's that piece that was a little bit rough. That didn't come out very well. It's on the bottom, so it won't ever show. Okay. Oh, you got it going out there.
Yeah, it's a little noisy though.
Yeah. I'm making a video right now, just so you know.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Oh, this piece, you can see, can't see very well. Some of them might have a little spot like that that popped out weird, so just snip it off, scrape it off, whatever. All right, there's 2 of these and they are opposite each other, and I usually don't know which side they go on till I'm putting it together, because I don't want to think about it, but I'll show you that in a minute and we'll figure it out. right, last one. Those are all the little figurines and scenery that go inside. So let's get gluing this together. Let's go ahead and start with the star. Let's get all these little pieces out of the way first. So let's go ahead and turn this over so that the light side is on the back. We'll make it so it's on the back and the front. I just put some glue on it. Kind of a lot. Probably don't, well, do as much as you want. Doesn't, as long as it doesn't seep out. And line that up as best you can, just pinching both sides. Okay, and then the next one I'm going to put on. So the light side is up again. And then this one, you'll put the glue on the back of the tiny star. And I might need to put my head in here to line it up. Let's see here. Once you put it down, you don't have much time. Okay, I think that's good. Push it down hard, and that will help it to stay in one spot. It's hard to push it down and not make it smear around though, so, okay. It's not perfect, but it's beautiful. All right, so now let's do the stable. I like it with the grain of the wood inside. You can do it either way though, and you can make it so it's on the outside if you want. But that's how I like it. Put it together, make sure it's all flush, and then these go on each end. I usually put the grain of the wood on the outside here. You might have to pull it apart a little bit to get it to go in. All right, so that is together, but we're gonna go ahead and put some glue on it to keep it together. You could put glue on it, you know, before you snap it together, but it's kind of hard to snap it in, so paper towel. As you could tell, it was a little bit hard to snap it in, so I just do it afterward. Glue on the very bottom, and then usually just in this little seam here. All right, and that was the Insta-Set, so it will dry quickly. And I'm gonna put that over there, and now we can get going on the stable. So the pieces, the main pieces for this stable are right here. The inside of it's gonna be this dark color, except for the bottom will be the light color. So I'm gonna pull these aside a little bit and start on the hinge side. And then when you put this together, don't use very much glue. If you do, it will seep out the cracks and get on the outside, and then it kind of ruins the veneer, the wood veneer, if you get glue on the outside. Now hold this at a 90-degree angle and push in so it's nice and tight. And then just hold it for a second. Okay, we should have it like that. Make sure that you don't have any glue that has seeped out the edge. Run your finger along it or a paper towel. Make sure that it's nice and clean. And then make sure your work surface is nice and clean also. All right, now let's do the bottom. So I'm just gonna put another little dot in each of these tabs, just a tiny one. We'll reinforce it later, and then also right here on this one. Okay, I'm spraying it again, and then I'm just gonna hold it nice and tight, making sure these right here are lined up, and it's pushed in nice and tight. Yeah, that's not dry. not much to dry because there's only this little dot there. All right. Work surface again, nice and clean. And now the next part, do the top first, because once you get, hang on a second, which one do you do first? I don't actually think it matters too much. Let's do this piece first and see how it goes. Just put the little dot on the tabs that go out right there. Oops. Okay, while I'm holding that, I'm just getting this one ready. And it will go up like this. So I'm just holding it while I put the dots on here. Now, if you can see, I've got kind of, you probably can't see this. Let me let it dry and then I'll show you. But I've got some glue seeping out on the inside. And you can wipe that off before it dries. You don't want to bump there because the piece that we're going to put in here won't go down all the way and it won't be flush if you do that. Let's see, can you see the shine right there on the top? Like right there? It's a little bump. And because of that, when we put this piece in, it might not be flush. So what I just do, because there might be some of that all over the place, I don't like to have it not go down all the way because then it's a mess for the other pieces that we put in above it. So I just peel the back off a little bit. There's a sharp point right there. So, and you can just be careful and wipe the glue off before it dries, or do this. I'm sometimes easier just to do this because wiping the glue off is hard if it's not stuck together. Okay, you can see I'm doing a really bad job of it. And it doesn't matter, and that's why I'm not worrying about it. Okay. All right, so this piece will go in here. And what we're gonna do, this will reinforce it. We're gonna put glue in around every crack on it, and then also on this surface area right here. And that way when we put it in, it will be nice and it'll just strengthen everything up. And it is not gonna come out. It's a pretty tight fit. So put the glue on, pop it down, make sure it's pushed down nice and tight. Okay. Normally I put this in first, but I think it will work just fine the other way. I just kind of forgot about it. So that's gonna go in like that. Actually, I like doing it better this way. So we can get a little bit of glue on these two notches right here. This one and that one. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of glue right here also. And if you want, I kind of like to just strengthen everything because of children and such, go ahead and just put some glue. There's kind of a bigger crack right here. Just fill that with glue, a little spray, and it should be good. And let's do it on both sides. Actually, don't do it on this long side yet because we don't want the glue to build up and have it be in the way. So these are our little pieces. We want the light side facing in, and it's going to go right in there. And that's why I didn't want to put the glue here because it might get in the way. But you can see this is nice and flush here. If this didn't get pushed down all the way, then this would be sticking up a little bit. And we don't want that. So that's why I peeled all that stuff off the back of that. Okay, and now go ahead and while we're going to put the glue in the cracks, and then go ahead and just put it in up here also right now. Go that way, stick it in, pinch it nice and tight. Now our screws, we're doing this because our screws are so long, they need it to be stronger, so, and we don't want the screws sticking out the back. So that's why we reinforce it. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other side. And I don't think it matters which one. Yeah, I think they're the same, so just grab one of them and go ahead and put the glue in the cracks again, right around where it will sit. And light side in, put it in there and pinch it nice and tight. Make sure if you have any glue seeping out the edge, you wipe it off. I'm gonna go ahead and spray that just a little bit. We want these nice and dry before we put the hinges in. Otherwise, the screws will push that wood back out, and that isn't what we want. All right, there's one side. Looks pretty good. Let's do the other side. All right, hinge side again. Now, if you don't have Instaset, you can still do this. And if you're using wood glue, which you could use wood glue if you want, you could get something square. Like I've got some square blocks over here, and you could just sit it like that and let it dry. You could prop up something on the outside so it's nice and tight and just sit it like that for a few minutes until it's dry. That's one way to get it to a 90-degree angle, but you know, that will take longer. So that's why we are using the super glue, which is faster. All right, let's do the bottom again. And let's go ahead and do this part with the hinge. Colored the light side out. So this one you can't just lean up because you've got this piece that goes over, so I just keep them apart a little bit. And you can just set it down inside like that. And let's get this piece going. So now's the time, if you don't want to peel the back of the other piece, that you could come in here and you could wipe this off before it dries, and also wherever else it is. You can look at it, make sure there's nothing sticking out. And if there's nothing sticking out, then maybe you don't have to peel it off. So, whoops. Trying to see, I do have some right in the corner here. It's hard to tell. It's very, very little. It'll probably be okay, but I made one yesterday and it didn't go, I didn't peel it and it didn't go down all the way, and then I had to take my piece here. It was sticking up and I had to sand it down, and that was kind of a pain. So I just prefer to err on the side of caution and peel it. The glue probably sticks better anyways, so just saying. Please don't cut yourself. My knife is very dull right now. All right, make sure it's nice and clean in there. And let's go ahead and put the glue in, and that piece. Okay, push down nice and tight. And we'll put glue out there before, I don't know if you can see that, sorry. And right here. Pop it in there. And let's go ahead and do the glue in this crack. Oh wait, there's the other crack. Well, let's put, sorry. Let's just go ahead and get ready to glue this whole side piece in. This is how much glue I use. You can see it there. There we go. The light color inside. And I used enough glue that it's seeping out a little bit. So push down and in. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put glue in this crack to strengthen it. And while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and put the glue all over here so we can get that piece in. A little spray. All right, looking good. Now let's put our hinges on. I think we're ready for that. Now the hinges are a little bit harder here because this is so, it's tipped a little bit. And you can use a normal screwdriver. Here, I've got one right here. Or you can use the drill that I was showing you before. Okay, I'm just going to dump all my pieces out in here so I can grab them easily. Okay, I don't normally use a screwdriver because it's easier to use the drill, but if you're using a screwdriver, the easiest way is to put one screw in, and then put your screwdriver in that so you're ready to twist it, and then put it in the hole. And then push down a little bit and start putting it in. And I don't ever tighten these until I've got a few in. Make sure you push down hard because you don't want to strip it. You don't want to push in and just have it spin without turning the screw, because that will strip the screw. So I've got it in just barely, I just got it in a little bit. I'm going to put the other one in. And this won't work if your screwdriver doesn't fit the screw head. So make sure you find a screwdriver that fits it well. And I don't know how to tell you what size that is, but something like that. You want to make sure it goes in and turns. If it doesn't, then it won't work. All right, so now let's go ahead and make sure, if you're using a little drill, that it's going the right way. Oops, got one of those already. All right. So one thing you can do is use your fingernail to hold that screw on, and then you can just... It's not very easy. Make sure you have it in the hole. And see, I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on there to get that in. Okay, so you can see it's really loose still. And that's what we want because we don't want to strip them out. Now go through and just tighten them by hand. When you're tightening when you're tightening them by hand, you just have more control, so you can know how tight it is. Just push down nice and firm. That one might be up a little bit. It's easy to break the heads off if you're not careful, so just be careful. I think that's nice. Oh, this one looks a little bit loose still. Let's gently open it. And looks like it's gonna work. So it's a little easier if you have a flat surface. But if I push, it's just gonna tip off. So we'll just go like this. Make sure that the bump of the hinge is on the outside so that it doesn't get in the way. All right, so we'll go ahead and put the screw in here. And just get it ready like this. And you can use your drill and just don't use power and twist it till it's tight. So I think those look pretty good. You can open it now. And then these, the screws are not sticking out, so you can just see a little bit of a hole there still, but that's how it's supposed to be. All right, let's do our latch, and then we are finished. So one side, I think we'll go ahead and do it like this again. I can't see the hole there. Okay. I don't think I got it in the hole because it's a little crooked. Yeah, I didn't see what I did here. I did not get it in the hole, but you know what? It won't ever show we're going to get it in the hole this time. Okay, I don't know if I'm in the hole yet, but at least I'm square. Oh, I'm going backwards. So I think it is fine. Looks good. Let's do the other side. This is a little tight here. Just have to, there we go. Get it moving and it will be fine. Alright, we have a few screws left over, and that is on purpose in case you drop one or break the head off one or something. So now you should be able to shut this. If it doesn't line up perfectly, that's okay, just it will after the first time you get it shut. There we go. I've never had that happen before. It just doesn't. Did I break it? Maybe this isn't down all the way. There we go. I don't know why that was so hard. Never had that happen before. I think maybe I didn't get them lined up. Not in the screw holes. All right, so now we are done. We just have to put all the pieces inside. Oh, I said this takes about a half hour. It's been 51 minutes. So I was wrong. I've never timed myself doing this before. Oh, just so you just so you can see this is how the star goes on the top. You can have it open all the way and have it face toward the back. Or if you want it in like that, you can do it. And here's baby Jesus who goes in the manger just like that. So because there's room on both sides, you kind of have to put them in a little careful, all the pieces, to get them to fit. So you don't have to shut it really fast, you know, just pile them all in on one side. There we go. All right, happy building. If you have any problems, message me and I'll do everything I can to help you. Thank you. Bye-bye.